Bienvenidos a una edición más de El secreto de mi éxito. Y hoy tenemos un invitado muy especial, una persona que ha escrito más de 50 libros, miles de horas en audiolibros, seminarios, y yo creo que uno de los principales oradores de este país, y a mi juicio, el motivador empresarial más importante de los Estados Unidos y yo creo que del mundo, la leyenda Brian Tracy. Brian, bienvenido, es un gusto.
Bienvenido, Luis.
Gracias, muchas gracias por recibirnos en tu estudio.
Muchas gracias.
Ok, y para mi audiencia, que muchos de ellos son emprendedores, que están empezando su propio negocio, yo quisiera que me contaras, ¿cómo empezaste tú a ser emprendedor?
Well, I began my life working as a laborer, and I had poor education, and I lived in my car,
Wow.
and I washed dishes, and I worked in construction and factories, and I think many people can relate to that. And then one day I began to ask, why is it that some people are more successful than others? And I noticed many people around me who were more successful. They had more money, they had nicer cars, better homes, same age as me. And so I went and asked them, and they told me. And I realized that success is predictable. That means if you do certain things in a certain way, you will be much more successful than if you don't. So I began to do more things that were right and fewer things that were wrong.
Wow, muy interesante, very interesting. Brian, me surge una pregunta cuando te escucho, porque muchas personas en este momento quieren empezar el negocio, encuentran que tú empezaste prácticamente de cero, ellos también lo están empezando igual. Cuéntanos, ¿cuál es el secreto de tu éxito?
Well, there is no single secret of success. There are hundreds of things that you have to do. The most important quality for success is self-discipline. It's self-discipline. You see, most people know that they need to get up earlier, and they need to work harder, and they need to study and become better at what they do, and they need to set goals and manage their time and learn new things. They know this, but they don't have the discipline to do it. So the starting point of success is always self-discipline.
Okay. Si una persona que nos está viendo quisiera empezar un negocio, ¿cuál sería la primera persona que tendría que visitar o pedir consejo?
Well, I was thinking about this before we spoke, Luis. What is the problems? And the problems are always fear and ignorance. Fear is fear of failure, and fear of rejection, and fear of embarrassment, and fear of loss of money, and fear of even asking people to buy your product or service. So fear is the first biggest obstacle. The second is ignorance, is people don't know what they're doing. If you were in a foreign country and you were lost and you could not read the road signs, you might be very afraid because you don't know where you are or what you're doing. So here's the wonderful discovery, is the way that you overcome fear and ignorance is with knowledge and skill. You see, if you know how to cook a recipe in the kitchen or drive a car or do your work, you have no fear about that because you have learned the skill. And making money is a skill. Starting a business is a skill. But tens of millions of people worldwide start businesses. So therefore, obviously, it is a learnable skill. You can learn how to start a business. The key is to start small and then learn as you grow from a small business. So you will find that the biggest businesses in America, almost all of them started with one person, maybe two, at home at a kitchen table with no money. And then they got experience. They made lots of mistakes. In business, you fail over and over again before you succeed. It's normal. So if you're afraid of failure, I mean, you'll never succeed.
Yeah.
We don't like to fail, but that is the only way we can learn the lessons necessary for success. So the key to being successful in business is to start, is to begin, is to make a decision. I'm going to start my own business. Now,
Puede empezar su negocio.
every study of successful people comes to one conclusion at the beginning. is successful people accept 100% responsibility. Responsabilidad. They accept, I am responsible. Yo es responsable. I am responsible. No excuses. I don't blame other people. I don't blame my parents or my history. I am responsible. And once you accept responsibility, then you say, I am responsible for what? Well, I am responsible for financial success. And if it's going to happen, I must do it. And no excuses. And when a person accepts responsibility, they immediately move up into the top 20% of people in our society in their thinking. And everything starts with your thinking. So now they say, I am responsible. If something goes wrong, they say, wait, I am responsible. They do not become angry. They don't criticize other people. They don't complain. They don't make excuses. They accept responsibility. You are successful in your field because you accept responsibility. It is the great mark of leadership and the great mark of maturity. Because until you accept responsibility, you are still a child. And children are passive. They wait for someone to take care of them.
You need to be proactive.
You need to be proactive. Yes.
What is the right time to start a business?
The right time is always now.
Now.
Yes. In study after study, a friend of mine who's worth many hundreds of millions of dollars in entrepreneurial business, he said to me recently, he said, the most important thing is to act now. He just finished writing a book, and it's for entrepreneurs, and it says, act now. Don't wait for things to change. Most of the biggest businesses in America were started during an economic downturn, during a depression or a recession. People became very motivated. They had to work very hard. They had to be very determined. And as a result, they started and built a business. And when the economy turned around, their business began to grow rapidly. So now is the time.
Yo creo lo mismo. Creo que estamos viendo cómo a raíz de que mucha gente se quedó sin trabajo, tiene que buscar otras opciones. Y una buena opción es comenzar su propio emprendimiento, pero comenzarlo bien.
Yes. Now, the core of business, the most important part, the meat in the tortilla in business is to market, which means to find people who are interested in your product or service and then to sell. And fortunately, marketing and selling are learnable skills. The one thing that holds companies back, small and large, is low sales. And many people are afraid of rejection, afraid of failure when they sell a product. And so they think, well, I have to sell my product to be successful, and people will reject me, so they don't even start. So here is the key. The key is to fall in love with the word no. No. Because it is the word no that stops all your dreams. The word yes comes after you receive the word no many times. So many top salespeople, top entrepreneurs, they will ask and go back and ask. And when someone says no, 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 they don't care. They just keep asking. And finally, someone says yes. And someone else says yes. So if you can overcome your fear of the word no when you ask someone to buy your product or service, then you can be a big success.
Great. Great. If you have to start all over again,
Yes.
knowing that you know,
Yes.
what would you do different? Si tuvieras que empezar de nuevo todo, sabiendo lo que ya sabes, ¿qué harías diferente?
I would do more research before I began. I would do a better plan. I would get advice from other people in my business before I started, because I made every mistake that was possible for the first 3 to 5 years. And it cost a lot of time and a lot of money. If I had gone and asked for advice, I could have saved myself an enormous amount of time and trouble. So that's the first thing I would do. I would ask for advice, and then I would make a plan. And then I would focus 80% of my time on selling my product or service. Focus 80% on sales. Because without the sales, nothing is possible. With the sales, everything is possible. If you have no sales, you cannot make any mistakes. The number one reason why companies succeed is because of high sales. The number one reason that companies fail is because of low sales. So I would focus on sales all the time. And that's how I turned my business around when it almost went broke. is I stopped everything and I went out and I spent and worked all day, every day on sales.
Excelente. ¿Me podrías dar, yo sé que tú sabes muchísimas claves secretas para que un negocio sea exitoso, ¿me podrías dar 3?
Okay. Secret number 1 is that the key to business success is to have an excellent product or service from the beginning, because competition is very determined today, and if you do not have an excellent product or service, you cannot sell it and you cannot survive. So I would focus on finding a product or service that you can offer that is truly excellent. It is something that helps people, that improves the life or work of people. After people have used your product, they are happy and they want to buy it again and they want to tell other people. So number 1 key in marketing is to have a good product in the first place. Many people start into business and they think that they can sell an average product or sometimes a bad product that's no good, but they think they can find a way to sell it and make some money. The key to success is to serve other people, is to think, how can I help my customers? The second thing is you must love your product. You must love your product. You cannot ever sell a product that you don't use yourself, that you would not sell to your mother and your father and your friends. You must really care about your product. You must think, this product is good. I want other people to enjoy the benefits of this product. And then the third thing is just to work all day long in sales and talking to people. Focus all of your energies on selling your product to other people. So first of all, have a good product. Second of all, love the product yourself. And third of all, spend all of your time telling people about the product.
Okay. Tú eres un excelente motivador. ¿Qué te motiva a ti?
Well, I read all the time. I listen to audio programs. I attend seminars and learn from other people. And it keeps me motivated. I wake up every morning now and I'm happy because I have programmed myself so that I am always positive, no matter what happens. I had cancer last year, and I had cancer of the throat, which is very bad for a speaker.
Yeah, of course.
And throughout the entire process, which was 6 or 8 months, I worked every day. I was smiling the whole time. I was busy and positive and optimistic because it's now become automatic for me.
Leí, ¿cuál es el mensaje que tú tienes para esas personas que nos están viendo en este momento y que quieren cambiar su vida, que quieren empezar un negocio o mejorar el negocio?
There are 2 reasons for success in all of life. Number 1 is to begin, to get started. Begin with no guarantees, begin with fear, but just begin, start. Like a long journey, take the first step. The second key is to keep on moving, never stop. Decide for yourself, I will never give up, no matter how many disappointments or failures, and you will have many disappointments and many failures. This is normal, and it's natural, and it's unavoidable. But you make a decision, no matter what happens, I will never quit. I will continue. And what I have found, and I have spoken to many people who started with nothing as immigrants from different countries, who are now millionaires, every single person says the same thing. The reason I succeeded was because I would not give up. No matter what happened, I almost went bankrupt. Some people did go bankrupt. They lost everything, but they never quit. And that's the key. Get started and keep going.
Gracias, Brian. Pues realmente muy motivador. Muchísimas gracias y recuerden, no se puede